Welcome back, everybody, to Fountains of Truth. This is Joanna. We have Keith and RL in the house. What's up, everyone?
Yo.
Yo.
We have an interesting, night or episode, I should say, because we started talking about what our favorite timeline or time frame was in our lives. And we all agreed on the 80s and 90s. And so we're going to talk about a lot of things in the 80s and 90s between music, events, sports, technology, pretty much everything in between that you can think of that happened in the 80s and 90s and kind of bring you back to that time frame because a lot of things have changed, haven't they?
Oh,
Bro,
shit.
you know what I just fucking realized as you were saying this shit? That I was born in 78. Therefore, I have, if you count the 70s, I have 6 eligible decades.
Oh,
6.
Damn.
Old as
damn.
fuck.
Stop thinking that way.
You were born in the 80s. You were born in the 80s, right?
Uh-huh.
So you guys got you guys got 5 available decades.
Yeah.
Make you feel old, right?
A little bit. A little
A
bit.
little bit, a lot of bit, shit.
But it's crazy. It's all relative because we're so used to mortality rates of 70, 75, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, if you think of it like what we're supposed to live, how long we're supposed to live, in our shit 100, something like that, 5, 6 decades wouldn't be that bad. We still kind of be in our adolescence of life.
Right.
Bro, and speaking of that, like you ever watch like the old 80s shows and motherfuckers that are 40s or look like they're in their 60s? And you're
Yes,
like,
man.
they look old as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes me think, man, like, right? Were they trying to like program a like mindset into us?
That's a good question.
You know, of just accepting age in that
Cause
manner.
like Cliff Huxtable looked like he was like if you look at him now in those days, he looked like he was in his 50s or 60s. So he's probably like 38. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
Yeah. Like
mean,
Ed
We've
Bundy, man.
aged younger. We've gone backwards in, the way we our skincare, the way we take care of ourselves, the way we look, how we dress. We just don't look. We don't want to look 60 at 40. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, like Married with Children, 90 shows, right? Ed
yep.
Bundy. That dude was like my age. You know, he had his 2 kids, Bud and whatever her name was, and they were about our kids' age, right? And I'm like, I look like Ed Bundy? Hell, no, I don't think I do, right? So, it's crazy, man. Like
Was it Ed Bundy?
Ted, was it
Ted.
Ted?
No, it's
Ed
not
Bundy was
Ted.
the
Ted Bundy is the
Ted
serial
Bundy's the
killer.
killer. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no.
It's
Al Bundy.
Al
Al
Bundy.
Bundy.
Okay. I was like, hold on.
Thank you. Thank you for catching that. Oh my god.
Oh, we're like, I've heard Ted. I've heard Ted. Go with Ted.
Yeah, man. But you know what? The cool thing about going back and looking at all that stuff is, we're gonna not only be nostalgic and bring up some great memories, but we're also gonna look at it with our type of eyes and our type of mind and kind of see what some of the stuff that was going on then and how it relates to now and shit like that too. So that's what's gonna make it fun.
Oh well, we gotta keep our spin to it and keep this authentic, or else it wouldn't be what it is. And we share our truths, like I say in every episode. It's our perspective. It is our truth. It is our way of seeing things, our experience, and ultimately, all of our experiences is a collective one truth. So I hope you enjoy this episode. And speaking of shows, RL, what was your favorite show of all times?
Oh, I've debated this with myself like for years, to the point where I even did a social media, like a March Madness tournament bracket over what the greatest show of all time is. This was back like in 2013 or something, and it's always come down to two shows for me, and that's Martin and Seinfeld. Two opposite sides of the spectrum, but Martin to me in his prime, at his best, funniest dude on the planet. Obviously he's nowhere near that now, and he had his issues. Seinfeld, like, just best writing, best collection of talent, and it doesn't matter what you go through. You have any type of issue, any type of something going on in your life, there's a Seinfeld episode about it. Plain and simple. What about you guys?
Was that back then, or I don't even know
Yeah,
what?
that was the 90s, right?
Yep. I think it started 89 to like 97, maybe.
Okay,
Had
because
eight
I
seasons,
was
I think.
I was always all about the Saved by the Bell
I
and
like Say Brother Bell.
uh was Will Smith
Fresh
back then
Prince.
and
Fresh Prince
Fresh
of Bel
Prince
Air.
in the
Yeah.
90s.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That
so
was a great
things
one.
like that.
What was your favorite character on Say Brother Bell? Or who, I should say.
I guess Zach.
Hell
You
yeah.
like Zach, huh?
Just
Okay.
because he always would figure out a way to see things outside the box and he would be the rebel and he would also be smart about things. And so of
Right.
course, yeah, I was like going
Okay.
for him, yeah.
Interesting. Keith?
So yeah, I'm older than you guys, man. Like
Oh, by like
I
what,
enjoyed
two,
I
3 years?
enjoyed well, no. And I think this is cool because I think it speaks to how quickly technology like just went, right? In the 80s and especially in the 90s. But the reason I say that is like, I remember watching fucking Mama's Family and shit, right? Like Mama's Family, Sanford and Son, you know? What's the
Yes.
Jeffersons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the shit I watched growing up. I didn't watch MASH. That shit was I hated that shit. Never gave a fuck about MASH.
Yeah, I was never a
Dynasty.
MASH fan.
All those soap operas and shit. But those were the show like those shows like Welcome Back Kotter, another one, right?
Yep.
So it was like that early point. In, it was like that early point in TV that I feel like maybe you guys missed, right? Like I know Joanna's never watched any of those shows,
Yeah,
and
like
and you
there was a
you
transition. Like
yeah.
okay, so my grandmother was big on shows, and I would go. I'd spend a lot of weekends with her, so we'd watch shows like that, or 227, or Amen, and
227.
you know what I'm saying, like old shows that were kind of
Yeah.
like that transition from the older style to the more fresh and hip style that came in
What
the
was the one
90s.
with the car?
Knight Rider,
Knight Rider.
Knight Rider and
yeah,
MacGyver, those were freaking awesome. I
MacGyver,
mean, and they
yeah,
became a thing. Like when you MacGyver something, you know what you're talking about. You're tinkering something, you're
right,
making it
right.
work. So it became like a thing now that we use.
Well, and I think I remember, man, it motivated me to become a tinkerer, right? Because you tinker, you think you can solve a problem with a toothpick and a paperclip.
Right.
Turns out not to
MacGyver
be
was a good
true.
Well, use your mind
But yeah,
though.
but it like motivates you. I'm be like, MacGyver.
Well, how about okay, like for where we are now, I'd love to go back and watch Quantum Leap. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what we know
Yes.
about, quantum entanglement and all that stuff. Like when I was a kid, I didn't really understand that,
But
but
it was
now
but it was
going back,
cool. It was like, oh, this is something
right.
cool. Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a dope show.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, it's Saved by the Bell was like you come home from school, Saved by the Bell was a definite. See, I like Lisa Turtle and I like AC Slater. Those were my two dudes. I mean, those were my
Yeah.
two individuals, I should say. But Zach was all right. Zach was cool. But I don't know. It was a different. It's funny because like shows then versus now are completely different. Keith, you talked about the transition of those older shows into kind of the mid to late '80s to the early '90s. But if you look at TV today, it's become such a quantity over quality. There really isn't like staples. That like millions of people watch. I mean, there's a couple shows that blow up.
Friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Friends ended what, 98, 99, or did they make it to the
99, I
2000s?
think.
Something like that. But like today, like could you name a sitcom, a situational comedy
No.
that everybody watches?
I can't name you shit right now.
Well, yeah, and I remember too. Like, when was King of Queens and Everybody Loves Raymond? That was in the '90s, right?
No, that was
Was that
in
the
the
2000s?
2000s.
That was in the
Yeah.
2000s.
Yeah, we were already married. So it
Okay.
was 2001 after that.
Yeah, that's that newer school. But those were good. Those were good. You could tell. I mean, and like The Office had a long run. I thought that was a really good show. But there's something about that nostalgic that 80s. And
Yeah,
and
man.
they
I mean, dude.
Well, the movies that back then had a lot of
yeah.
connections with the music. And so that's kind of
Oh,
like
thank
the
you.
reasons why we watch 80s movies
Fuck,
and
man.
stuff is because we are listening to the 80s
Like,
music.
yeah, if there's a song in the '80s that was badass, there was a movie associated with it. It was like,
Yep.
I don't think that's
like
how
Top
music.
Gun?
Yeah, that's how music got out back then.
Yep.
Right, it was through movies because it was a different time. But yeah, like soundtracks were like the shit. Like soundtracks, you had soundtracks to movies. The fuck, nobody would do that. Nobody would do that now.
Yep. I
Yeah, but that
remember
soundtrack.
that 8 to 80, the best ballads, like rock ballads ever, and they're always attached to movies, man. Like you said, Top Gun,
Rocky.
Rocky, Karate
Come
Kid had a
on.
great one,
Yeah.
man.
Karate Kid for sure.
Just good shit.
Over the top.
Oh, the fucking
Yes.
arm wrestling movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Yes.
like
Fucking
that's taking it back.
anything with Kenny Loggins was like the fucking jam. And he wrote a lot of shit back then.
Oh man. And then you had, okay, how about do you guys remember Better Off Dead? With John Cusack, where he got the fucking
Yeah.
the boombox or whatever, and that was associated with the song from what's his name? Shit. In your eyes, my life's complete.
Clapton? That's not Clapton,
No,
is
it's
it?
not Clapton.
No.
It's, oh man, it's called In Your
I
Eyes.
have
I don't
no
know who sings
idea.
it. I'm gonna have to
I
look
was
it up.
more in like the Paula Abdul listening type,
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson type stuff.
Oh my god, dude, this girl loves some Janet Jackson.
Peter
She
Gabriel,
would.
everybody.
There you go.
Peter Gabriel.
I remember coming over, man, and she would have fucking. You remember them slow ass Janet Jackson songs where she sounded like she was fucking herself or fucking somebody?
Again and
Yeah, yeah.
well, again was slow, but the one that was slow like that was in the Velvet Rope album.
Oh,
With the green
Rope.
dress, right?
Yeah,
And see-
where yeah.
And that's the other
Later
thing,
on.
man. Like videos, bro. Music videos. Like I remember I came home from school and watched Yo MTV Raps. That's what I did every fucking day.
Yeah.
Yo MTV Raps was on, and then it was like Full House. Not
What a
the
mixture.
not
Hey,
the,
we're
hold on,
well
hold on.
rounded. We're well
This
rounded.
dude,
Don't-
went from Ice Cube to fucking Full
Yes.
House. Yeah,
Kumo
John
D
Stamos
to
and Bob Saget.
fucking- Yes, the twins.
Oh, shit.
That was the time slot, man. It ain't my fault.
And then he'd switch it to BET 106 in Park.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the 2000s, I think.
Get
Damn.
the street
Yeah.
cred back a little bit. Oh no, continue, bro.
Yeah, I'm fucked up now. I'm like, they're clowning me.
Nah, that's no. I think we all share that. I think we all kind of well rounded.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I like Barton and Seinfeld, completely two opposite sides of the spectrum. And did you know they got
Well, and
old classic Yo MTV Raps episodes on Paramount Plus now? You can go watch all that
Really?
old shit, bro. Yes, we were watching
That's
it the
awesome.
other day, bro. They were like interviewing it was Fab Five Freddy, and he was interviewing like Tupac back in like '91. Tupac had like overalls on and shit, and he's, it was, man, it took me
I think
back.
the 90s music was the best.
That's debatable.
Like
Yeah,
now that you
for
said
sure.
Tupac and all that, like we grew up with Biggie and with Snoop, introducing the whole West Coast, East Coast thing and just gangster stuff. That's when we grew up. Now you can't say certain words.
Well, dude, and there was a special, like that shit was, it was like when you went to pick up your check and you had to take that shit to the bank and get it cashed. Like that was an experience, right?
Yeah.
And you exchanged something for your work and you got something in your hand and it just
Tangible.
felt different. Yeah, it was tangible. Thank you. And I think, fuck, I did it again. I forgot.
I
Shit.
think you saw my hand move.
I did, man. Fucking with me with that. Anyway, continue. It'll come back
At the
to me.
bank, the experience of going to the bank, of taking, all those experiences, like the music, having to listen to the entire album and having to, like, we would
That's a
read the
big thing.
lyrics, things
That's a
like
big
that.
thing.
Whereas now we don't, because we take it for granted and it's really easy. We would sit there and go through certain musics and tape them over certain tapes while listening to the radio. Come on, and you knew all about that because we met in '97 and he would make me tapes.
No,
And so I had tapes with him talking with this,
you
singing.
still got these
with me.
tapes.
Yes,
Unfortunately.
everything.
Nice.
Blackmail.
No, yes. So I think, we spent a lot of time appreciating the songs because we couldn't really fast forward, rewind, and all that stuff really quickly. Like, if we're listening to it on the radio, we have to listen to it all the way through, tape it if we want to hear it again, or go get the album. So, I mean, the struggle was real. And so in order for us to appreciate the value of that, you had to go through the experience of all of that. Whereas now it's like, oh, just play it on YouTube and then it's gone. You don't even know who that was or what it was or what.
And people, kids
Yeah.
nowadays, or I shouldn't say just kids, anybody nowadays, they don't get that experience because like they take it off for granted. Just like I am a tangible person. I still buy Blu-rays. Like I still buy I have a collection of 4K Blu-ray discs. Number one, it's the best quality. You can stream whatever the fuck you want as fast as you want with whatever internet speed you want. It'll never be as good as the physical disc. Number one. Number two, what you gonna do when when Netflix and fucking Hulu goes away? You'll never have those movies again. You know what I mean? So like there's value to a tangible product, and you appreciate it more. I appreciated going to Blockbuster a lot
Yes.
more than scrolling on my screen trying to find something to watch. There's something about that experience. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're just sitting on the couch and it takes us half an hour to pick something, but it's like annoying versus that half hour you spend it in going to Blockbuster, talking about looking through the aisles, making a decision together, and then that experience altogether is way better than sitting on the couch trying to decide.
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
dude, and I'm convinced that like for me, the whole way I like to experience things was based on how we experienced it back then, right? Like you had to look. I remember, for example, tell me you old without telling me you old. I'm so grateful for remote controls to this day, right? Because my ass had to get up and change the channel for my parents when the show or the shit needed to be changed, right? So I'm so happy about remote controls, and that means something to me, right? So I think again, like it's so cool. You fucking with me with that, man. It's messing me up. I
I'm
can't
so
even
sorry.
think.
I'm so sorry.
Checking shit off twice, 3 times. What am I up to? 15.
15
Shit.
minutes.
damn.
Right?
Hey man, hey, you better start chewing some gum. Get them jawbones working, bro.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, them jaw muscles
Yeah,
working,
yeah. I
son.
hope I hope somebody's ready to get rid of that chrism. Shit,
People,
15 minutes.
people are like, what is going on? Oh God,
Disclaimer,
let's
everybody. There
continue.
is an underlying behind the scenes joke.
Yes.
Inside joke being played by the Fountains of Truth hosts.
Oh God. Oh, so sorry.
Yeah, I can't, man. It's fucking with me hard.
I know I'm gonna stop just for the sake of that. I'm
Okay.
sorry, everybody.
Well, you got 15 minutes out of it.
I did get 15 minutes out of it. So out of that,
Hey, that's
hey.
more than a lot of people get for like decades and shit. So, speaking of, y'all ever watched The
Speaking of which,
Sopranos? I don't know.
nah.
That wasn't '90s though. That was 2000s. Okay, so I'll say
Yeah,
that
we're
for
getting
you.
all those confused. Yeah.
Speaking of which, you know, back in the day, like, I'm a Virgo, right? Like, if I'm gonna have some sex, I need to know what the fuck's up. And I remember going to the grocery store, to the bookstore, and looking at the Kama Sutra books, reading about some shit, right? Like that was a thing. Like, how do people learn about sex now?
Internet,
Fucking porn.
TikTok.
You got TikTok.
90 seconds. 90 seconds. You can learn about sex. You'll be a fucking master. That's TikTok. You know what I'm
TikTok.
saying?
Yep.
Nah,
the world has definitely changed. Like, think of the fact that we were the first to, in the 80s and 90s, it was like we went from pure going outside, playing with boxes, imagining stuff, and all of a sudden, beepers are introduced, pagers, right? Cell phones are introduced, computers are introduced. I mean,
Fucking
the
Oregon
freaking
Trail.
yeah, I mean the computers weren't
Oregon
even a
Trail.
thing until like what, the 90s, and then
Right.
Google was later on in 98, but the Oregon Trail was all we knew. Yeah.
Here lies Keith. Dysentery. That shit was awesome.
That was our introduction to technology, and then all of a sudden we're in this world where now the new generations know nothing but that. They don't know a world without that, and we do. We're the last generation to know that world and this new world.
That's gonna be, and that's really gonna be the toughest thing for the newer generation to never be exposed to. That really is understanding like the difference. You know, the difference between connecting on a personal physical level versus connecting over fucking, you know, binary code and shit. Like
Right.
it's a completely different world. And I just look from an artistic standpoint, you know, we've talked movies, we've talked music, we talked TV shows, all these different things. Now we're talking technology. Like I just feel like when you oversaturate things, which is I believe what happens now, it's like something's good and they don't leave it in that space. They want to exploit it, and that's kind of like the societal blueprint of call it capitalism, whatever you want to call it. Like they take it and they exploit it. So sitcoms became a big thing in the late '80s and early '90s. So what they do? Well, they exploited it. Everybody started making a sitcom. And then all of a sudden, there's really no uniqueness to it. You know what I'm saying? Every stand-up comedian ended up having a sitcom. Why? Because, you know, Seinfeld and Martin and you know a few other people decided to do it. And then music, once the Spotify's, actually I should say Napster, that's the one that started it, right? Napster, Spotify, and all
Yeah.
that, you know, kind of went the Netflix route and brought streaming into the plate. Bro, there was nothing better than getting that CD, opening that motherfucker, putting it in, and
Bruh.
listening from track 1 to
Oh,
12. You know what I'm saying?
That's
yes.
that's what I was gonna
Yes.
say earlier when I was talking about the fucking banks and shit and your checks. It's like you don't understand, you can't appreciate the value of knowing that an album drops on Thursday, right? Like I remember going after school and picking up whatever that album was, and you knew this shit,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you knew this shit. How do we know this shit? We had magazines, right? You had your, you know, your magazines that told you what was going on, your TV guide. You know, you had all these things, right?
Right. Yeah.
That you know, like we have 15 million websites that tell you a bunch of shit, but we still got by back then. We knew when shit was coming out, and like going into the record store and picking up, you know, a CD, a tape, whatever like that. That shit was amazing, man.
Or a
I used to
record
love
if
it.
you want to go back then. Because I remember way back with the record player, and I would put my little Care Bears on top and they would play around and they would spin. But other than that, I had like my Michael Jackson, um, what
The
is
king
it?
of the 80s.
Yeah, like just playing on there in the background. And oh man, like just let me stop there. Like Michael Jackson, let me just say, you know, he was huge in the 80s. He was huge in just shifting and changing the way we look at music. You know, he was talked about as this great thing, and then towards the end it was like the media and everyone kind of pointed out several things that we all believed to be true. And then now that I see things a little bit differently, I kind of ask myself if, just like the media does now, which is shift things around, if maybe that's what happened and they kind of shifted blame to him. I don't know. I kind of see things differently now with him, because I see the whole industry differently, right? The whole Hollywood and all of that stuff. But I think he, for me, was like a major change in music, dancing, and all of that. I mean,
He,
I was a dancer, so I love the dancing aspect of it. You know.
yeah, he was a pillar. You know, I think you know, he transcended a lot of things musically, and but not only in a music sense, but also from like a racial sense, because like he was for everybody. It didn't matter who you were.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Black or white.
Right, right. He can go into any
Yeah,
country.
yeah, yeah.
He could go into any country and shut that motherfucker down. You know, he was the first kind of. I mean, not that there weren't other great artists, but like he took it to another level. I mean, shit. What Thriller still? I don't know if it's still number one, but that motherfucker was number one record sales all time for at least 3, 4 decades, like straight up. And it might have got passed. I don't know. But if it did, it got passed by something that just might have been around longer or some shit. I don't know. But I don't even know how they count record sales now because they don't sell records. So,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
but as far as what you said though, but I think those two things go hand in hand because when you have somebody that powerful and that seemed like, look, he making songs. Is it black or white? And he was making anti-establishment songs later in his career too. And he has
Mm-hmm.
that much power and that much money.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like that.
Right.
They don't like that. And if I'm not mistaken, first of all, he bought the Beatles masters, so he owns all their music. He bought his own masters, so he owned his own music. And if I'm not mistaken, he bought somebody else's. He might have bought Eminem's catalog or some shit. He bought, like, somebody was dissing him. He said, "All right, fuck it, I'll buy your catalog," and he did that shit. Like, power moves. And just to
Wow.
let everyone know out there, like, when you're an artist and you work for a record company, it's no different than everything we talk about. They own you. They
Yep.
give you a small little percentage of everything you sell, and you're just happy to be there, you know. But Michael Jackson, obviously being as big as he was able to purchase his own master, so he owns 100% of all of his music. Well, did own 100% of all of his music. But that's my opinion. So yeah, when all that shit started coming out to me, you know, looking back at it now, it's like, man, they had it in for him, and that's why he died early, in my opinion.
Got suicided. Um, Prince was another one back in the day.
You want to hear a dope Prince quote? He
Mm-hmm.
said, "Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. Don't
Mm.
let, you know what I'm saying?" And he said that shit like right when the
Yes.
internet dropped, and he was so fucking right, so fucking right.
Yes.
Look at us now.
But here we are, and you are listening to us through technology and this computer. So I think that, what you said earlier, as far as like taking things like the sitcom and blowing it up and expanding from that, like 97, Dolly, the first successfully cloned sheep.
Oh
That was
shit.
97. It went from cloned sheep to now a lot of cloned things, a
Yeah,
lot of cloned
how come we haven't heard
people.
about it since then? I haven't heard about shit
Exactly.
been cloned. What the fuck you clone the sheep for if you're never gonna clone anything else?
No, and
Motherfuckers
they talk
not.
about it. They talk about it, but it's hush hush, and you gotta like look for it. But the cloning shit happens, and they're talking about it now. But the
What
way
do you
they
think
talked about it
23andMe
back
is?
then, yeah, I mean they just expanded on letting people know. Oh, look, we just successfully cloned a sheep, and we're like, man, think about it, it's a sheep. Everybody was like,
Yeah.
meh. And they were like, look, they did it. And then they didn't talk about it again because that's all they needed to know, oh yeah, cloning exists, but then they didn't think about the expansion. And of course it's expanded.
Right.
Oh,
It's expanded a lot.
shit. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere in like fucking South Korea or something, there's like 2,700 people that look like me and you. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, if you think of all the surveillance and now all the information they have about us, they have our, you know, pretty
They
much
have our
at
mama's
some point,
placentas.
they have at some point they've gotten some of our DNA some way, somehow. I mean,
Yep.
you know, you fucking, it don't matter what you do, you know, they're gonna get something. You know, you fucking work in the financial industry, you got to get your fucking thumbprint, just automatic, right? That's just there.
Here's the real question.
What's up?
Here's the real question, RL. I want to know who has my foreskin. That's what I want to know. They cut it off. Where the fuck did it go?
Where did it go?
Who got it?
What do they
What
do with it?
celebrity
Shout
Oh
out
my
put
to
that
all,
in a
god.
shout
put that
out
in
to
a
all the
smoothie?
circumcised dudes out there,
who,
all my
who put
my Jewish friends.
right? Who put that on in a smoothie and drank it for their youthful figure? Come on,
Adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome
come
all
Speaking
on.
of
day.
that, speaking of that, so I know that you have the book 1984. Can you explain to everybody what that's about, or like what, when people talk, oh, is this 1984? Is it repeating? What does that mean to those that don't know?
I mean, to me, 1984 is a masterpiece. Shout out George Orwell. You know, it was obviously when I read it first in high school, and you know, it seemed like so far fetched. You know, just these concepts of all-seeing eye and Big Brother, somebody always watching you at all times, and that's kind of what like the premise of the book is. It's like a what's it called? What's the word? A dystopian society. I think that's the word. But basically, you're always under surveillance. You're basically a slave. You're constantly, you know, working for like a socialist type of society. But so many of the concepts he put in that book, you're seeing play out as technology has gained, you know, in its, you know, extremities. So I advise that. I mean, it's an easy read too, or you can watch the movie. Like the movie's decent, you know what I mean. Book's a little bit better, but I advise anybody to read that shit because you will see so many parallels today versus when that book was written in the 80s. I think he wrote it in either the early 80s or late 70s. if I'm
Wow.
not mistaken. But fantastic book for sure.
Yeah, because the things that we see now about back then just I mean, we see it totally different. It's like I have to rewind my life and just see it over again and reflect on it based on what I know now. And it's like, whoa, that's the whole point of reprogramming our minds.
Yeah. And pre-programming is such a fucking predictive programming is such a thing. Like for everyone out there who like still hears outlandish things and calls them conspiracies or says that oh there's no way that could happen, like just go back and watch some of the shit in the 80s and 90s that was futuristic or seemed crazy and the shit is played out like so many, so many times over.
Just go back and watch the first Simpsons episode in 1987.
Shit, watch every Simpsons episode.
And,
Shit, go watch Back to the
like
Future.
all of those, they are predictive programming.
Michael J. Fox. Were y'all Michael J. Fox fans?
Yeah, Back to the Future.
Man, I like me some Michael J. Fox. Family Ties. It's a good show. Shout out to Mallory. I like Mallory.
Man, I never got on Family Ties. I could never
Nah.
get with that show. I don't know why. Silver Spoon couldn't get with that.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
that wasn't
Couldn't
mine.
get with that
Mr.
either.
Belvedere.
I was watching a lot of Spanish soap operas back then.
Novelas.
Yes, I was into my novelas when I was younger. So
dig it.
it wasn't
She
until
was watching Sábado Gigante.
I was yeah, Sao
Sábado
Gigante
Gigante.
on Saturdays, and yeah, and the rest was Monday through Friday was my novela. So I didn't really have time for that until later on.
Did you watch La
90s.
Bamba?
I did,
was
and
a good
Dirty
movie.
Dancing.
And Salinas.
Well, that's later on.
That's the
That's
90s.
still 90s though.
Oh yeah,
That's still
yeah.
90s.
Fuck yeah.
She made an impact to the world.
Like you go back and watch La Bamba now. Like it's actually a good movie, but man, movies have come a long way. Let's put it that way.
For sure. But they're more meaningful back then.
I was
Agreed.
just thinking that.
They were better.
Because even like
they're
our,
just-
our kid, well, not our kids, my daughter, let's just say our daughter, really enjoys that aspect of it. She always says, man, I really wish I could go back and live in the 80s. Like,
Yeah.
and just without all this stuff. Because I guess we talk about it so much that she's,
Well,
wishes she could
there's
be
something about. I mean, look, all of us on here, like we're all about knowing the truth, and we dig and we find things and we enjoy that, and we do it for good, right? The greater good. But there is something beautiful about of the not knowing, of the unknowing.
yeah.
And especially when you're talking like from an artistic standpoint and stuff like that, because it's like everybody knows everything now. So like there were times where you'd watch movies and you'd learn shit, that you never heard before, that you've never seen before. And it was like, holy shit, man, that was some deep shit. But now, I mean, you got Google, you got Wikipedia, all this other bullshit. So like everybody thinks they fucking know everything. But, I was going to say, okay, so my slogan and motto when I was like heavy into the filmmaking was art imitating life, imitating art. And what that means, and I'm sure y'all know, but everybody out there, like the art has always imitated life and vice versa. So like when you watch a movie in the 80s, you see the 80s culture and society in those films. And that's why they're so cool. When you watch them, you see kind of how people dress, how they talked, how they acted. And then it kind of parallels with how people were and how society was. And that's what made it unique. That's what made them have substance. We ain't got that anymore because it's so oversaturated that you watch a movie, there's no fucking substance in these movies. They're either remaking something that's already been done, or they're just making something because it meets a formula that will be successful. So you lose the artistic integrity of stuff. That's why, look, maybe 20 years from now, someone's going to be making shows about the 2020s. Oh, what a great decade. Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it, but
Science.
Yeah.
It started as science. Science is proven to
Yeah.
be
So,
science.
but no, that's not. I mean, that's to me, that's the biggest thing, man. Like, so when I think about the 80s and 90s, there's just so much substance. The 90s movies, man. Like, there was a run, and look, I think all three of us, obviously two of us are urban in itself, but we're all into urban culture. Like, there was a string from like 91 to like 98 of just great
Yes.
urban
Oh
movies.
my God. Like, what's the one that we would, Dear Mama, the one with Dear Mama, with the food. Was it called
Soul
Dear
food.
So,
Soul Food? Soul Food was playing back then. Um, what was the other one? The Best Man,
oh, I love that movie. Have y'all seen Best Man Holiday?
Uh,
Basketball, Love and Basketball, like
Boys in
all
the
of those.
Hood.
Oh,
Yes.
Menace to Society.
bro. Men's
And
Society, dude.
my favorite,
Show your inner
my
color.
most impressive, like memorable movie event. I went to the opening night of Friday.
Oh, shit.
I heard nothing. Do you fucking hear me? I heard nothing that entire fucking movie. I was like, what the fuck is everybody laughing at? I couldn't hear shit. I saw it when it came out on tape. I laughed my ass off. I was like, no wonder if I couldn't hear shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember that, man. That was, and by the way, pound for pound, maybe one of the best soundtracks ever. Friday.
Ooh.
Hoochie Mama.
That's a good question. Oh, it does
Hoochie
have
Mama.
Yeah, it does.
hoochie mama.
Mama just don't understand
Yes.
why I love your hoochie ass. Sexist, what
Um,
I sorry.
Was that too live? Was that
um,
too live? Too live
I don't
crew?
know who that was.
I don't know, was it? It
That was
sounds
that
like
song
Two
Hoochie
Live
Mama.
Crew.
I don't remember who sang it.
I think so. I think it's Two Live Crew.
That did have a good soundtrack because that had obviously Dre's ring the
It has
ding
some
ding ding
classics,
dong. It
like
have
it has some,
throw
some
your
like
neighborhood in the air. That's
yeah, I
cute.
can't remember the I can't remember.
It
I
had
can hear the song in my head.
Mary Jane by Rick
Yes,
James.
thank you, thank you. Yeah.
I'm in love with Mary Jane. That's my shit. Ugh.
Hey, Miss Parker.
So many and that launched Chris Tucker, who
It
had a nice
did.
little run, and he's just hilarious. Now Friday, it's funny. I went to see Friday in the theater, but my story's not as good as yours. But like, I hadn't seen a preview of it, and a friend asked me if I wanted to go see it, and I was like, yeah, I'll go see it or whatever. And it was so unexpected for it to be that funny. Like when you go into something with no expectations, and
Yeah.
it's that good, ooh man, that's a moment. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, everything hit different then. Ha ha. That was a weed joke.
Oh, nice. I
And
didn't get it.
everybody didn't get it,
Right
so
over
I
my
had to
head.
say it.
right
Yes.
over
Poof.
the head.
Poof.
Speaking
I was
of
gonna,
poof over your
yeah.
head, 1986, The Challenger.
The Challenger, poof, January 28th,
Nah, I wasn't being
1986.
insensitive, everybody. That was what you would
No,
call a
that's what
pun.
that is what is called an explosion. Poof. So it exploded supposedly.
The
Well,
balloon,
that
the
shit was
balloon
that shit
exploded.
was emotional. That shit was emotional.
It was emotional for a lot of people. And you know, in 1986, I was 5, so I was not emotional. And so therefore I can speak on a place of my experience. I was not emotional because I was 5 and I had no idea about that because I was probably still speaking Spanish and just wasn't into that. So the only time I started learning about the Challenger and the explosion is when I found out about the people who are still alive,
Supposedly.
supposedly.
Why, you know, yeah. That. Have you guys watched the Netflix special on that, on the Challenger?
No.
Okay, so
Negative.
yeah, I gave it a gander a couple years ago, and the way they set that thing up, like, just shows you just how fucking theatrical NASA is. Like the propaganda is just
Hollywood.
like the way they built this specific mission up, bringing the first ever civilian, first ever, just regular person into space. You know what I'm saying? And build it up, and then obviously we know, quote unquote, what happened. But you could just, knowing what I know
But
now, you could just tell that it was
that's
staged.
the emotional hook, though. That's
Of
what
course.
gets people hooked, emotional, and therefore defensive when
Mhm.
you bring up anything other than what they know, because now they have this emotion tied to this event, regardless of whether the event was true or not. They have this emotional tie to it. And then now you have built these, you know,
So y'all
defensive.
talking about the ladies of the Challenger that exploded supposedly. All I picture is perms. like a
They
big
had
ass
perms.
perm. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like the perm that was it was as wide as your driver's license picture. You know what I mean? Like you had no background when you had a perm.
Yes, all the
It was
hair,
just a whole.
80s hair.
And shout out to Big Perm.
He brought out Big Perm. Oh shit. Oh, that was good, man. Great fucking timing, dude.
Mo.
Big
Or was it Big
Perm.
Worm? It
It's
was Big
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 Worm.
Worm,
Worm,
but
but he
he
called him
had a
Big Perm. He
perm.
called him Big Perm.
But you knew who I was talking
What's
about,
up,
right?
Big Perm? I mean, Big Worm.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I love it, dude. I love it. Oh my
Um,
gosh. And we're not
yeah,
being insensitive. First off, like we don't believe that. We don't believe that shit. Like we don't believe anybody was on that motherfucker. I mean, at least I don't.
I don't. I truly don't. Just because
Yeah. So
you
we're not
can't
being
tell
insensitive.
me. This is the thing that's been pretty much said, that you have pictures of what they look like now. Some of them with the same name. Some of them using their first name versus the middle name. Some of them supposedly had a identical twin, but yet the identical twin was never at the funeral. Things like that just don't match up. And you look at it and you look at their pictures and you're like, these are the same people. So what's really up? And you can't even dare to bring it up in conversations at, let's just say, holidays or anything like that, because
Holidays.
I know this for a fact that they're gonna look at me, or well, they've looked at me and like, why are you so, what was the word?
Troublemaker.
Like, I just always like challenge everything or have to be so.
No pun intended.
She's like,
Challenging the challenger.
you know what she was like to them? You guys remember Saturday Night Live.
And they
Debbie?
say this in front of my face, but they whisper it behind my back. I'm like, you're right in front of my face. Like, I don't understand.
No, who you fucking with. You remember Debbie Downer?
Yes. Womp, womp, womp.
Yo,
Yeah.
that shit was so which if you have never seen Debbie Downer, please Google
That was
Debbie
good.
Downer with Lindsay Lohan
In
at
Disney,
Disney.
yes.
It's fucking amazing.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if I saw that.
They
one. I'll
they,
have to
they
watch it.
all start cracking up while they're doing their skit, and all of them lose their shit. Even Debbie Downer, you know how they like zoom in on her face and she's,
she's
wah,
like,
wah. She's like laughing as they're. It's fucking amazing, man.
I'll have to look
And
at
they just roll with it and keep it flowing. Lindsay,
It is really funny.
Yeah, it's super
Lindsay
funny.
laughs, everybody laughs.
But that's what you're like, man. You're like Debbie Downer walking in the room to them, killing their American dreams and the pride of America, right? I mean, that's what it is.
and I'm saying like, hey, here's my truth. Here's what I found out. And she's always trying to start something and blah blah blah. And that's not how. And then they just like completely, just diminish and put a wall up, like, basically, and just go on with their experience, which is fine. I get it. They're hooked emotionally with it. But that's the thing about having an open mind, is listen to other people. That doesn't mean you have to believe it. I mean, it's whatever resonates. It's not like, hey, I'm shoving it down your throat. It's, hey, what about this? And a lot of people aren't ready for a lot of this and that.
Nah, it's the whole believing in Santa Claus syndrome. You know, you're the one who says, "Oh, Santa Claus ain't real," and they look at you like you're crazy. You know, but if you look at the Challenger, like they set that shit up like WWE. I should say WWF for all my '90s and '80s.
Thank you. Yes. That's a whole, man. Now I want to talk about wrestling characters.
Okay,
Fuck.
man, I can talk some wrestling, bro. I used to love that shit too. But like they set that shit up. Isn't it a coincidence that the one space mission that explodes is the one that they're bringing somebody on who wasn't an astronaut? Like, and that's not a coincidence. They built this one up to be such a major thing, and never did it. Haven't done it since. Haven't taken anybody else with all the technology they have now. They ain't taking just regular people into space except for that Elon Musk shit, but that's basically like a glorified fucking plane ride. So
Yeah. Orbit.
right, exactly. So
Low
I'm sorry
Earth
for anybody
orbit.
out there who might be offended by that, but we're spitting raw facts. Just Google that shit.
Yeah.
Google it.
Yeah. Go look
Well,
at it.
I mean, never has it been a perfect time and then to use this phrase. I mean, you guys identify as non-challenger explosion believers. That's how you identify, and I have to respect that shit.
Yes. Respect that shit.
Right? Respect that shit. It is
Well,
what
no, I
it
mean,
is. I mean,
something
you
exploded.
identify.
I'm just saying, I don't think there was anything on that shit.
Right,
Anybody
right.
else?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Right.
but there weren't people. Sorry, there weren't people aboard the spacecraft.
The spacecraft.
that exploded. So,
We're gonna have a whole nother episode on that subject later.
bro,
But yes.
favorite wrestler.
Yes, yes.
Hit me.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Damn you.
What about you?
I love the Ultimate Warrior too,
Oh
but he
shit!
wasn't my
Nice.
favorite.
Okay, okay.
But he wasn't my favorite. I don't. I think it was his like colorful tassels
Yeah.
and the face makeup. Like you never really knew what he looked like.
Right.
Like I was sort like Hulk Hogan was cool.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But yeah, if I had to go with my favorite wrestler, it was actually a pair. You remember the Legion of Doom?
Yes, with the
I
fucking
love those
spikes
dudes.
and shit.
Yeah, with the spikes and shit
Yeah.
and the football pads. That
Yeah.
was so dope. That reminded me too of Bo Jackson. You know, like we haven't talked much sports. We need to talk about sports,
Right.
because like with one of the underlying themes is I think like we were introduced to like stuff, distractions, right?
Yes.
Like distractions went into hyper mode in the late 80s, early 90s, and it's
Yes.
gone into even hyper mode now. But like as kids, like we were introduced to distractions. There were so many different things to choose from, right? But like sports, Bo Jackson. Remember my man with he had the bat?
Yep.
You know, we haven't even talked about trading cards either, because trading cards were like the shit back then.
Yep.
And you know, Garbage Pail Kids. I don't know if you remember those.
I remember
Those
them-
fucking
yeah, I
things were
remember that.
amazing. Do you remember Garbage Pail Kids? You probably didn't. The ice cream truck. The fucking ice cream truck, man. You got to get a pack of Garbage Pail Kids. Had a little stick of gum in it.
Yeah.
Hard as hell.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
they made a movie.
Yeah.
They made a movie.
They did make a movie.
I thought you meant Cabbage Patch Kids. I was like, I have a
They were
Cabbage
kind of like
Patch
the
Kid.
opposite of them. You know
The
what I'm
opposite.
saying?
They were like the Eminem
Why would you
version.
bring up my Cabbage Patch Kid?
Yeah,
I
they were like
had
the Eminem
one.
version for sure. But yeah, man, like sports and distraction, everything. Like there was just so much to be distracted from. But
Yeah.
but like, yo, you know, The Last Dance was a beautiful series. Like I loved watching that series because nothing, I've in my lifetime, nothing has ever come close to when the lights went off and Michael Jordan took the floor and that beat dropped, that song dropped. You remember that?
Yes.
That song?
Or whatever
And
the fuck it was.
yeah, man, and just the way that felt, knowing that, you know, Mike was taking the floor. And it's strange to me that Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan, I don't know if there's the synchronicity in that, right? Yeah, both MJ.
Yep.
Interesting. But yeah, man, there was just something about
Mary
that.
Jane.
And you know, I don't think that's been replicated in sports since then, in my opinion. I just don't think the nostalgia behind Michael and the Bulls has been even come close to being replicated.
You want to hear something?
At least
Oh, continue.
no, that was it.
Well, wait, before you move on to that coolness, because it's simmering down less and less. But you brought up Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to say the only thing I can say about that is that him and I were chilling at the pool together in Santo Domingo and DR.
Oh
Just
shit.
saying.
Okay.
Not together, but he
The
was in the same
Hulkster?
pool. Yeah, I was
said,
like, oh my god, I'm in the
Check
same
out
pool
these
with Hulk
24
Hogan.
inch pythons.
Yeah, he had a whole bunch of people around him, and he's talking to everybody. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah,
Nice.
so I had to just bring that up because, you know, not every day that happens.
He was tan. That dude was so tan.
So tan.
No doubt, no doubt. No, but Mike, yeah, I mean, I think that in the 80s, they realized what they had in sports. Like it got to that point where it could be the ultimate distraction. I mean, if you go through the year, I mean, baseball was always like America's pastime, huge thing. You know, boxing was huge in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that. But once they knew how they could exploit and relate to the children with these other sports, basketball and football, like that was it. It was over. And football just became a whole nother animal. But your thing with MJ, you said MJ and MJ, right? And then at the time you had Mike Tyson too, so you had all the Mikes. And then here's a real kicker.
Michael Douglas, Michael J. Fox.
A lot of Mikes,
Let's
right?
not stop.
Yeah,
Mike Epps.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, continue. My bad.
No, you're good. Most consider Michael Jackson the GOAT, right? Safe to say. Pop music, you know, popular music, Michael Jackson the GOAT. I don't, but most people do, right? They consider Michael Jordan the GOAT, most people. And they also consider Jim Brown the GOAT in football. Well, Michael Jordan and Jim Brown have the same birthday. I mean, to me, that's some crazy shit. Probably maybe the best football player of all time, best basketball player of all time have the same birthday, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Flip it around. Tiger Woods, considered the greatest golfer of all time, right? LeBron James, A lot of people consider him maybe the greatest basketball player of all time. They share the same birthday.
But
That's
different
crazy too.
decades.
Yeah.
Right.
Just think that's kind of crazy how that's all, all
They
correlated
have that
together.
same thing with
Maybe that's what they did with cloning.
they have the same
Maybe.
thing with the years of when Lincoln died versus something. I forgot what it was, but
It was Lincoln and who's the one that killed whoever killed fucking Lincoln. Something Boone.
and all of
Booth.
all of
Booth, there
the
you go. Yeah.
related synchronicities,
With JFK and the one they said killed him. Fuck's his
something
name?
like that. Yeah, it's so weird and so cool at the same time.
Gematria, man. Oh man, I looked at some gematria shit today, but it's not about the 80s and 90s. I'll share that later. I was going somewhere with this fucking Michael
Gematria, or are you
Jordan.
gonna bring
No,
gematria later?
with the Michael Jordan shit, sports, and I was gonna relate it to something else, but I
I
think
hate when that happens.
that 5 decades is starting to catch up with me a little bit.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
They blend together.
Damn. I mean, Tyson biting ears and shit. I mean, that's
Yeah, that was a huge thing.
Well, dude,
OJ.
and Mike Tyson, man, like I remember. I don't remember how old I was. I think it was 9, maybe, because he was
Right.
like 87, right? Like it's when he like really hit the stage. Yeah, like 9 years old.
Youngest
I remember,
heavyweight champion of all time. Still to this day,
like,
youngest heavyweight champion of
like,
all
bro,
time.
if I put on a pair of black shoes and some black shorts, like I felt stronger. Like I felt like I
Yes.
could knock your fucking ass out. Like it was a thing, man. Like
Yes.
that's what was cool about Mike Tyson is
Yeah.
you remember that video game on Nintendo, Mike Tyson's
That's
Punch
a
Out,
punch out. Yeah.
dude. Glass Joe,
That's another thing. Video games. Like
Yeah,
video
I was
games
gonna
launched in the
say
80s.
Nintendo, like that. Super Mario
Yeah.
Brothers, like come on, Super Mario Brothers is a thing.
she told me the other day that like people that I guess because people have not they didn't grow up with Super Mario Brothers. She's
Right.
like, there's people that play Super Mario Brothers that don't know the cheat codes. I said, how the fuck can you play Super Mario Brothers and not know the cheat
No, what
codes?
happened was that somebody shared on TikTok that there was a cheat code for when you what is it? What is the when you lose everything? Game over? Yeah, that when you have game over, you can put in this code or whatever and go back to whatever level you were on. And so I was saying how the people who didn't know about this cheat code just found out through TikTok and they're just rethinking their entire lives of how they used to play without knowing this and how they could have just, advanced and they didn't. So I
How
thought that was
sad.
funny because we knew the cheat code.
That brings me to the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
How many fucking things that we look back on that we thought we knew about wasn't the way it is. You know what I mean? That's just real. That Mandela effect.
The other day we were looking at this. The other day I looked at the stove, and for the first time ever, I said, "There's a melt." Like all the other ones said low,
A
and this
what?
one said melt.
Like a melt setting.
Like high, medium, low. This one said high, medium, melt.
I never
And
seen
I
that shit.
kept thinking this is the first time, and we've had the stove for forever. And I'm like, this is the first time I see the word melt. And check this out. That same night, my son goes, "We have melt?" And this was totally different times. He had no idea I had thought this or seen this. And I'm like, oh my God. And so we thought the whole Mandela effect, because it's like maybe they changed it and maybe now
Right.
it's melt and not low. And we're like, why is it that on the same day we realized this and we've had the stove for years? Like, the
That's
fuck?
that alternate universe type shit. I'm telling you.
Maybe we were in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Matrix was what, 98?
Yeah.
Yo,
Yo,
that was the shit.
shit-
That was the shit.
That shit I feel like was like
Still is.
we roll into 2000s on some shit. Like y'all wait about 3 more years. This is what's gonna happen. Whole fucking world's
They
gonna
were
change in about
preparing
3, 4
everybody for
years.
the Y2K scare that was going on in 99.
And most people don't
Yeah,
realize that
Matrix.
the writer of the Matrix wrote Terminator, and that
Yep.
Terminator was the prequel.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shit's crazy, crazy. What do you think?
Yeah, when I found out about that, I said, we're gonna have to go back and watch it all. Like I want
know,
to see
I
how it
wanna
all
go back.
works.
I want to go back. Fucking Schwarzenegger was a dude. Like who's your favorite actor? 80s, 90s, like in that span. No matter what
mean,
movie
he
they put out, you're going to see it. Actor, actress. It could be a woman too.
You go first. I don't
Man,
know.
I was never a big fan of like a particular person like that. You know what I mean? Like I've never been like a fanboy like that for any particular actor or actress. But if you had asked me which my favorite one was, it's a little unconventional. But I fucking loved every John Candy movie I have ever seen. Just love it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like Summer School, Uncle Buck, Planes, Trains, all of them.
Oh, I love
The
Plane
one where he's
Trains
in the
Automobile.
woods with Dan Aykroyd,
That's
the
Uncle.
one with
No,
camp
no, no,
camp
no.
some shit. Uncle
Great Outdoors.
Great Outdoors, yeah, yeah. With that one, like every summer vacation, whatever movie that was, all his movies were amazing. So John Candy was probably my favorite.
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings, thank you, hell
Yes, I
yeah.
love Cool Runnings.
You want to kiss my lucky egg?
I can't think of anybody.
Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. We got the.
I love that movie.
That's good shit.
You can't think of any.
No, I can't think of anything. Like at all.
What about you, man? 80s, 90s actors, actresses.
I get them blended. You know what I'm saying? Like Rocky's my favorite franchise ever, so it's hard for me to pick against Stallone.
He was
in
really
that
good in
time
the
frame.
80s. Yeah.
But Tom Cruise had some good shit. Denzel was just kind of getting into shit. Wesley Snipes had a lot. I know I'm naming everybody like a bunch of people, but
Yo, Beverly Hills Cop. Come on.
yeah, Eddie was the man.
And he had so many. Come on. Like one,
Eddie
two,
had
three,
a
and
lot.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Eddie was good. Yeah, Eddie was really good. Damn.
I mean, the laugh right there. I mean, that's, and you laugh and you know who he is.
Yeah, you
like,
know exactly who he
right
is.
away.
He was that dude. Damn.
So
OJ.
yeah, I mean, there's so many nostalgic things. What were you gonna say about OJ?
I was gonna say OJ, innocent or guilty?
Guilty.
I don't know.
I remember. I think I was in.
I was
What
in
grade was I in?
high school.
8th grade, 9th grade. I think 9th grade. Was that 95?
Oh no, I was in middle school. It was 94.
94. Okay, so yeah, I was either 8th or 9th grade. I can't remember. And I remember they rolled. Remember they used to roll in the TVs. They rolled in the
Yes.
TV so we could watch them read the verdict. And they read the verdict or whatever. And I swear, like, it was just such a microcosm of America because half the fucking room is cheering of a certain demographic, and the other half of the room is like crying and like, oh my god, I can't believe it. It was unreal. It was unreal.
I just know now, looking back, that you can't believe everything they put out there. So
Oh nah,
I don't know anymore anything. I really do. I feel like I don't know anything
That
because
was
I
a
don't
show.
know.
That was a show.
Oh my gosh,
That was a
fucking
show.
Johnny
It was a
Cochran
show.
and
There had to be something else that was happening in the background, and that was a big distraction. There had to be.
well,
Yeah,
there
it was
was.
a
I mean,
show.
there was a lot of other. Like, they never talked about some of the other people that were actually that they were looking into as being possibly the killer. Like, see me, I think he knew about it. I don't think he actually did the slicing and dicing personally. But
Yeah, no,
I think
dude,
he orchestrated it though.
I wrote my senior year of high school paper on because this was right 96, right?
Okay.
This is when this happened, and no, I agree with you on that. From what I remember, I mean, fuck, that was a long time ago,
Right.
damn near 30 years ago. But yeah, from what I remember, that was my paper. That's what I wrote, that he wasn't guilty, and I remember my teacher was not too. She did not agree. She was very mad.
Really? Ha!
I think there's always some type of topic where it's controversial like that, where you have splitting decisions or sides of I agree or disagree or pro this or anti that. Like, there's always going to be some type of division. That's the whole point of
Yes.
the United States of America, is to separate and divide.
Yeah, and I think that, like, that specific trial, them filming that, them putting it on TV, seeing the reaction, like, was the birth of what you see in, like, politics and stuff and societal type of media coverage today. Like, that birthed it because they knew, okay, we tap into their emotion like that and we divide them.
Yeah,
Shit, we can do whatever
yeah.
the fuck we want.
Bro, it's simple. When Speed come out,
Oh shit.
Speed came
Shit,
out.
yes, that's predictive
Oh,
programming.
shit.
Speed came out.
Speed
and
came
was
out in
already chasing-
95.
What?
Or
One of the
no,
best.
94. Was it 94?
Well,
I
let me
was in
check
middle
the
school because that
Googles.
was my first date.
Oh shit.
Okay, I went on my first date, and it was
1994.
to watch
It's
that.
1994.
94.
Yep.
And when? Oh wow.
Yeah, 94. And that's the OJ thing.
We going no, OJ was 96. We gonna test
Are
it in
you sure it was
94.
96?
Yeah, I'm positive
It
because I
was
was a
it was
senior in high
right in
school.
the they literally cut the NBA finals. They cut into the NBA finals between the Spurs and the Knicks. And that was the 90s. That was 95. That's 95.
Well, something
Yeah.
happened between 94 and 96.
Yeah, it was 95.
Yeah,
Yeah, the OJ
95.
trial was in 95.
Okay,
Speed
so
came
you
out
had this
94 right before it.
right before us to get you ready for the speed
Oh,
chase.
shit.
How about that shit? We just had a realization on like
Maybe.
live.
Maybe.
Holy
No,
shit.
but it's just it makes sense. It's like a pattern that you notice, you know? That's
Wow.
craziness.
That is crazy.
Well, too, and when was Rodney King? Wasn't it the late 90s too?
No, I was early. That's 91
That was 91.
because that sparked the
Damn, that was that
riots.
long ago.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sparked the riots.
Yeah, I
That was
remember.
right around their AIDS thing time.
Yep, yep. And the same thing with AIDS. Like AIDS had to have a poster boy, and that's where Magic Johnson came in. You
Yep.
know,
Another magic someone.
no, and
MJ.
because what that did was is that transcended AIDS to put fear in the heterosexual population. That hey, look, that shit could happen to
Yeah.
you. You know,
Yeah. It's not just a gay disease.
not
This is
just
a disease of all
Even though that was the
people
narrative,
that have the
which is
sexuals.
just ridiculous, but that's a whole nother story.
yeah, which
So-
launched.
Well, that was a test run too. It's all test runs, man.
Yeah, let's
Basically.
just see how much drips or how much we can boil the frogs.
And look, and AIDS fell off the fucking cliff, just like COVID fell off the fucking cliff. Like you don't ever hear that shit about COVID anymore, do you? The last time you heard someone say, "Man, I think I got COVID."
Yeah, nah.
I mean,
it's back
like,
to a cold. I got the
That's
flu.
what I'm saying. Like it's not even in people's vocabulary anymore. I'm like,
It's
what
a
the fuck
stomach
just
bug.
happened? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
We're going through like portals and timeline. This is why it's good to talk about these timelines because like sometimes seriously since 2020, I don't know about you guys, but I feel many times it feels like the Twilight Zone. Like you're in some in between portal of time frames of like where the fuck am I and did I go back in time? Did I go into the future? What the fuck is this? Am I on Earth? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, CBS, NBC, any of them, Fox, they all the same, but they should all come together and just fucking make a fucking channel where they only show programming from the 80s and 90s and they show the commercials from the 80s and 90s. Because again, I know there was a lot of programming and commercials. This is your brain on drugs,
Right.
cracking the egg and whatever, beef, it's what's for dinner, all that shit was in the 80s and 90s, man. But man, like we can't even we stopped watching regular TV or can't even stand it because of the fucking commercials
Oh
these
yeah.
days, man.
Mhm.
Like everything is a disease. Everything is a fucking pill. And what's so funny, man, is that like we're watching TV the other night and it's a pharmaceutical drug comes on that causes all these issues that's caused by the next advertisement that they're trying to get you to eat. And I'm like, the fuck?
Yep.
Like it's like you said, it's like you're in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, man, like the commercials, like everything was just more wholesome.
Yeah, they
You
would
know what I
just,
mean? Like, just more
try to
wholesome.
commercial. Oh, let me give you this gift and this toaster oven. It's pretty. And now it's like you have this itis and this symptom for this thing. And
Right,
it's
like
like,
they were
what?
selling
even,
me.
even the food commercials weren't like exploiting you because back then, like in the 80s, like there wasn't like fucking extra or what do they call supersize meals. Like that shit
Right.
didn't happen until I think mid or later 90s or whatever. And it was more focused on the restaurant aspect of it. And most people say that, I ain't had a McDonald's anything in a long fucking time, but they say like the food at McDonald's in the 80s wasn't half as bad as it is now, you know?
Right. Right.
Agreed.
Because of the whole quality quantity. They want more quantity,
Yeah,
less
man.
quality. And I don't know, but
And like,
it's just so different.
you guys remember Saturday mornings? Like that was a fucking like thing.
Cartoons.
You remember that shit? Like that was a thing. And the Cartoon Network came on, and it made my heart hurt, man. And my kids will never know
They
the
won't.
true meaning of a Saturday morning because you watch the cartoons, and then wrestling came on at like noon or some shit, and you watched the Ultimate Warrior beat
Yep.
up on whoever,
Yep.
Shit was amazing.
Good times, man. Good shit.
Good times. Well, we've done an hour now already. Talking about all this is so cool though because it just takes you back and it's nostalgic and it's always good to bring some of that back. It's not like you can't have some of that. You could still incorporate a different timeline into your timeline. So that's what's cool about it.
Well, and
Yeah.
I think too, like if you watching old movies, you remember how it molded you because it did,
Yeah.
right? Like those movies were impactful in a lot of ways. Like E.T. flying off with his bike, man. Like, who doesn't get emotional with that, right? The motherfucker phone home. I mean, it was amazing. And Goonies and just some of the like
Yeah.
epic movies
Yeah.
from the like even what's the one where they're in school and they're in detention?
Oh, Breakfast Club.
Oh,
Breakfast Club, yeah, like all those movies, man. Like they shaped us in some way, shape, or form. And when you
It's another
when you
classic
watch them,
song.
yeah.
yeah, like when you watch them and you experience them again, it sort of I think helps you remember like what how it influenced you and how much of an influence it had on you in very small but meaningful ways.
And that's honestly that is great art. Like great art is timeless in a way. It's timeless, but it can also bring you back to a moment, from that energetically. I mean, obviously there's frequencies involved and all that, but that's what I think. Like when I watch old shit or classic shit, it resonates with me. Nowadays I don't get it as much. It happens sometimes with certain things, but like that's the one thing that I love about the 80s and 90s.
That's why they did a really good job with the Netflix show Stranger Things because they brought it back to the
Yes, they
80s.
did.
Listen, we got a 14, almost a 16-year-old daughter, right?
Yeah.
Now, I have never, I play my music and I don't know what I've played. She's probably heard shit from the 80s, everything in between, right? But one of my proudest moments, straight up, is I'm listening and I'm like, is that fucking Mob Deep playing in my daughter's
What?
bedroom? Like, what? Is that Most Def
Oh
playing
shit.
on my daughter's speaker? And I'm like, yo, how you know these songs? And so my point is that like I grew up with my parents listening to fucking Neil Diamond and disco. And don't get me wrong, that has its place.
Right.
But the shit we grew up with is timeless.
Yeah.
Right? Like kids, if my daughter's listening to shit I listened to in the 80s and 90s, then there's something to that. Because guess what? I ain't never put disco on until I was like 30 something. Right?
Right.
Like I never put on Neil Diamond until like 2 years ago. Like I never wanted to hear that music because that shit was lame. But the music we grew up with is timeless.
Yep.
Even the kids love it.
Yeah.
Right? And that to me says something. It speaks volumes and why we are the best.
For sure.
Yeah, we are the
ever.
best.
Well, what generation are we? Don't we have a label or some shit? What are we?
I don't know.
Some
man.
label,
Xers,
I don't know,
Ys, some
X,
shit.
Y, or millennial or
That
something.
was just the whole.
Who knows?
Another labeling.
We
thing.
could also be called indigos. There's a whole
Star
bunch of
children.
star seeds.
Right.
Seeds.
Right.
We're all star seeds. But anyway,
Big perm.
Big Perm. That stole the show right there.
yes.
Big perm.
Oh my God. Go enjoy some type of 80s and 90s. Maybe this will inspire you to do so. And we will catch you guys next time.
Yes, and I'm gonna put a plug in real quick. If you've never seen Electric Boogaloo breakdancing 2, check it out. Best shit ever.
Damn. Ozone and Turbo. Oh,
What?
shit. Damn. We out here.
Peace.